Hey y'all, so here it is, the finale to Tactical Lever Gun build. Got the rifle right here. This is the replacement Henry sent me. They just replaced the entire rifle after I sent it in, which I did decide to send it in. And I can't remember, I think I might not have mentioned that in the last video, that I was still on the fence about whether or not to send it in. I sent it in. They sent me a brand new rifle. Got the flashlight all mounted up right here. Got the rail is straight on the rifle. And I have the Holosun 510C on there, zeroed up. Right, so here it is. Stuck with the original handguard because honestly replacing it was more trouble than it was worth. And now I get to take all this and send the rifle back to Henry and get a refund. No, I'm not kidding. Now I'll go into why I'm basically canceling the project and sending the rifle back. So basically, I took it to the range to zero it, and I had put the optic on, I had everything set up right, and this was my first target, or one of my first targets. And you'll see here where you've got this, and this are pretty much normal round holes, what you would expect, but then this, this and that are all perfect keyholes. And yeah, so basically I took the same rounds that I was using the first time, literally the same. They were my hand loads, but it's basically just a 240 grain semi-wad cutter, powder coated, and they do, out of a 4-inch barrel, they do about just over 1,000 feet per second. So I'm assuming with a 17-inch barrel, you're probably looking at about 13, 14, somewhere around there. I did not ever get a chance to chronograph it, but the first gun that I had when I took it to the range and shot that ammo, shot great, got a nice group, exactly what you'd expect, was quite happy with the rifle and ready to move on to the red dot. Tried to zero the red dot with this and it did not work, obviously, at all. Was infuriating because basically every few rounds might go in fine, but the majority of them keyhole, and it begs the question why. I was fairly certain it wasn't the ammo because I have used that ammo in the other 344 Magnums that I have, and they stabilize just fine, no issue, and plus it's it's a semi-wad cutter, it's the Keith designed bullet, so it's not like it's a weird wacky bullet. And again, it's 240 grain, which somebody online suggested I try a different grain weight. Changing off a 240 grain 44 mag because it doesn't stabilize it well, that's kind of like saying, well, my 9mm won't shoot 115 grain. It just kind of doesn't work that way. So yeah, so the gun key hold terribly. And the other issue I noticed, and I will pick the gun back up here for a sec, was two of the screws in the gun keep coming undone. Now, I don't know, you probably won't be able to see that, and I can't really get camera angle, you just have to take my word for it, but this screw and this screw, upon cycling the gun, they back out. In fact, the upper screw, I didn't catch it in the beginning because obviously I wasn't expecting my rifle to start disassembling itself, but the screw was almost out a 1/4 inch. Yeah, so with the two screws backing out and between the that and the keyholing issue, the gun is going back. I just talked with Henry, they're taking it back, and that's kind of the end of the project. I might revisit it someday. I had originally wanted to pick up a Marlin, but I think right now, and this is something I've heard from a bunch of people, is right now QC for a lot of manufacturers has completely gone out the window. Understandably, they're trying to crank out guns as quickly as they can right now. While I can understand wanting to do that, when quality goes out the window, you're hurting yourself more than you're helping yourself because you're going to have that many more guns to repair. That's their business decision. When I reviewed the first Henry I had, the little 22 lever action, I gave it a good review. I like the rifle. I still to this day have and enjoy shooting it. And I had a lot of people tell me how Henry had kind of gone downhill. I guess now I've gotten to experience that. So sadly, that's what happened. Now, what I will say is I went day 2 with this rifle. I took some American Eagle 240 grain, and I believe it was a jacketed hollow point, and this was my group. Now, this is a stabilized group, and this is not a terrible group. This is at 50 yards, but this is in a rest at 50 yards, and that's about a 3 or 4 inch group, which honestly, I'm not that happy with. Like at 50 yards, I would kind of want better. And even, you might say, oh, we'll just use that particular type of ammo, or maybe I have to go full, nothing but full power ammo to get it to stabilize. This kind of gun here was designed to be, home defense, zombie, boogaloo, whatever. This gun was not designed to be something that's finicky and needs special ammo. And I've got a couple ammo cans over there of various 44s that every single other one of my 44 magnums shoots just fine. Of course, some might take some better than others, but it'll all shoot, it'll all stabilize in all the guns. So having a rifle that is finicky isn't going to work for me. So sadly, that's kind of the end of the project. I hope to maybe revisit it someday.